Let me tell you, we have Stewart Copeland with us today on the Mike Gormley Show. You just heard some police music by the police. It wasn't a police band. And
By the way, that was the worst band name in history, I think,
you
because we
think,
can't copyright it.
oh, really?
We do not own the word police,
Oh, don't say that
unfortunately.
to people. Don't tell them.
Uh, Grateful Dead, they own that.
Yeah,
Fish, they misspelled the name, which means they own fish. We don't own the police, unfortunately.
never heard that.
That was a
That's
major screw up on my part. I came up with that name.
well, but it wasn't up to you to
Well, my original idea was Bleep the police.
what?
And for all you
Oh,
people
bleep
listening
the
on
bleep the police.
and for all you people listening to the podcast, I can share with you, fuck the police.
Oh yeah, we can do.
Now, all you radio people, don't you wish you were listening to it on streaming? Don't you wish you were listening to this on streaming?
You get the truth on stream.
Yeah.
You get the
The
truth.
the true F bomb.
So anyway, we came back in with Roxanne, as we were saying, and I think we said it, but we just said it now, so it's okay. Um, that's the first police song I ever heard in my office, and I figured it was heading for number one.
What, you had an office at that time? I thought you were just a college kid
We can go with that if you want, but no, I was at A&M Records.
in the college department, and they gave you a desk.
No, I was a vice president. Thank
Get
you.
the hell out of here. When I thought you were with Kathy, with the rest of them. My so terrible name, Kathy Bacigalupo, the guy, our other good buddy who became president of MCA Records.
Oh
Uh,
yes,
you
yes,
know,
amazing. That was IRS. He's with
yeah.
IRS. But anyway, no, I had an office. I was the head of that department that
All
kept.
right, you were all grown up.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay,
evidently appear that way, but I
so
was.
we don't go back that far.
We go back
Well, Jay
pretty
Boberg was just a
far.
kid out, still in college.
He was a kid while he's still a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Jay Boyberg.
Yeah. Well, for all your listeners wondering what the hell we're talking about,
All right.
A&M Records had a college division, and all of the people who worked in the were college kids, work in the college radio stations. And my brother Miles, when he set up his record company, IRS, uh, and at the same time, A&M was rolling back and fired all the college kids. Miles hired them all, and those college kids became IRS Records, and one of them, Jay Boberg. Was I think the president of Miles Record Company, fresh out of college pretty much, and his career went from height to height, and he ended up as president of MCA Records, the biggest record company on the planet.
Yeah. And uh, I mean now he owns a vineyard. Now he's a wine.
Yeah, he got out of that business.
Yeah, right. Now he said enough with the music. Thank you.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, he was directly out of college. He was, I'm guessing early 20s, he was president of IRS, but what a great label.
Well, let me tell you a story about Jay Boberg that might be of interest to your listeners. Uh, I had a record under the name of Clark Kent, which is a secret
Oh, yeah,
identity.
I was gonna ask you about old Clark, but
And I wore a mask, and in the beginning nobody knew who it was, so they thought it was somebody, and it wasn't. It was just the drummer in this fake punk band that wasn't getting anywhere. But I got a mini hit in England. This is before the police broke, and so I came to America to do my promo. And Jay Boberg was the college radio guy,
uh,
and we did a stunt in New York where Clark Kent was going to meet all the executives of the record company, and all the honchos are there. I think Jerry Moss was there. The big record company bosses were all there. And so Clark Kent walks into the room, and everybody's, Clark, and they're all talking to him, and he's doing his thing like that. And then a few, seconds later, I walk into the room, and they all go, wait a minute, but who is what, wait, who, what? And Clark Kent was being performed by Jay Boberg.
oh no,
And
really?
that's a nice story, but think about this. He told me afterwards that was the weirdest sensation. He's like the college kid in the college department, and he's there with Jerry Moss, who's the M of A&M Records, the
Yeah,
owner of the company, and the president of the company, and the president of the New York office, all talking to him as the artist.
that's
And
funny.
he said that their body language, the just everything about the way they talked to Jay Boberg, college kid, and an artist was a completely different universe, uh, which is kind of a fun thing to think about.
Good, good social lesson there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather be the artist.
I I would think so.
Yeah.
I was never the artist. I was always on the other side. So,
I'm sure you're an artist in your soul.
well, I was a drummer.
Oh, there you go. Hey, right there. You're in.
I'm all set. Look, I want to ask about the police. You guys looked like brothers to me, and then I found out that the brothers weren't getting along very well. I didn't get any details. I didn't know what was going on, but obviously there was something. Um, it was pretty deep, wasn't it? I mean, it was kind of, it was,
Yeah, it was at the time. We've since in band therapy, more recently in the big reunion tour that we did in 2007 or whatever.
yeah.
Um, you know, we were there and having the same old battles, and we're thinking, wait a minute, we love each other. We've had lives, we have families with children, grandchildren, you know, why are two guys on this tour, this spectacularly successful tour? Everybody's having the best tour ever. The promoters sold more tickets. Everybody's just having even the caterers having people volunteer to work for free just to be on the tour. Best tour ever, except for two guys. And so thought, well, I heard that the Rolling Stones had band therapy. I want band therapy, God damn it. And why are we screaming at each other all the time? So we went and had band therapy, and we discovered why we were screaming at each other all the time, because we make music for different reasons. We listen to different music. We listen to different things in the music. Our purpose for making music are completely different. I doubt if Sting has any Slipknot in his playlist. Okay, right there, we're on different planets.
Yeah.
And so we were screaming at each other because we were on different missions. I was on a mission to bang shit and have fun banging my drums, and there's somebody singing something. Sting's an incredible front man, and the songs are cool. I like them. I never listened to the words. I have no idea what they were about, but I like the riff. This is great music. Cool. And I'm banging stuff here. Now, on his end, he wrote a song which is about something and has a story and has meaning. And some guys over his left shoulder, he's got World War III going on, slightly irrelevant to his mission. So he realized that we're actually on different missions. We're here for different reasons. So that's why we clashed. It was never an ego thing, because Sting is, maybe I could be an egotist. What the hell? Why not? So shoot me. But Sting's certainly not. It's just that we both really cared about what we were doing and music. And I'm the world's worst session player. I'm not there to support the song. The song is there to support me. The song is there to make the band look good. The band is not there for the purpose of a song. Many will disagree with that idea. In fact, you as a record company guy, you're probably going, this is insane. No, it's about the song. And you're probably right. But for me, banging drums, I am not a blessing for songwriters.
Well, it worked out though. I mean,
Yeah.
in,
Well, what we realized, which is why we get along great nowadays, is because we realized that it was that contrast, that clash, that made the Police what it was.
did that clash actually lead to creativity?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes and no. It dampened a lot. When I got out of the Police rat pit to go and do my first film score with Francis Coppola, oh my God, the relief. I could just make music without debate, without, struggle. Oh, it was all beautiful. But the Police were, I've described it often as being like a Prada suit made out of razor blades. It was really cool, but not so comfortable.
That's so great. That's a great image right there. That got to use that somewhere. It looked cool, but not so comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool counts.
Well, yeah. Let me say for your younger listeners, tight pants. See a rock star, guys wearing tight black pants. Back in my day, we didn't have no stretch fabric. You put on your tight black pants. That takes commitment. You can't breathe. Get into those things. Nowadays, kids these days got your stretch-o-matic, stretch fiber, stuff like that. Anybody can put on tight black pants without any great commitment. Ha! Back in my day, it took commitment to wear tight black jeans.
Okay. I'm with you on that. But I wanted to go back a little bit to early days of the Police. You were referred to as a punk band at the time, which I thought was inaccurate. I know it was,
Well, by the time we
no,
got to America, we weren't so punk anymore. But
no,
we started out in the punk scene, and the punk rules, believe it or not, this is really anomalous, but punk rules were very strict. This rebellion against the old guard had very strict rules. No song shall be longer than 2.5 minutes. There shall be no guitar solo. No songs about love. All songs shall be about socio-political import. No tempo below 140. Uh, and so to play in those clubs in front of that scene, because the old wave scene was dead. There were no clubs. There was no, the audience was dwindling. The scene where it was happening, where all the heat was in the punk world, so that we cut our hair, bleached it blonde, and started to play my crap punk songs. And it was only when Andy joined with his harmonic sophistication that Stingo's ears pricked up and he started to write those songs that we all know now.
uh, yeah, I forgot about the blonde hair. It's
Yeah.
it was
Well, it's not peroxide anymore. This is actually the real thing now. It's a
that's the real thing.
it's gray with just enough original color to make it look blonde.
Why? Why did you guys do that at that time?
Because we got a gig in a Wrigley's chewing gum commercial.
I heard it was a commercial. Okay.
Now, Sting's wife was an actress with an agent. And as soon as that agent took one lick at Sting, let's get this guy in front of the camera.
Hmm.
And so the agent would send him off for auditions for advertisements of one kind. He'd get every gig. He just had those, that magnificent brow. He's just a stunningly charismatic guy. Uh, and so one gig he got was for Wrigley's chewing gum commercial where they want a punk rocker. And as soon as he gets there, that, you know what? Let's have a band of punk rockers. And he says, well, I got my buddies, get them in here. So we show up and we weren't wild enough looking. So how about this? How about we peroxide their hair? Because I had done my hair. I'd peroxided my hair so I could look like Billy Idol. And so they peroxided all of our hair that day. And we're looking at each other saying, well, that's kind of cool. And so we stuck with it.
Well, it worked well, but you let it slide after a while. But it became kind of a logo for a while there. But
It was kind of a logo.
yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go listen to some music on the way out to a commercial, and that music is going to be wrapped around your finger by no one else but Stewart Copeland. It's the Mike Gormley Show. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the very same guy, Stewart Copeland.
Well, actually, let me interject for a second before you roll that.
Okay.
There are two other guys on this record as well.
Oh,
Let's just acknowledge that, okay, it's Stewart Copeland. Yeah, we'll go. And there were these two other guys.
yeah. Okay, that's good. Stewart and two guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Commercial.